I'm going to ask the question from JG. How important is it for software developers to know under the hood of an LLM and to what depth? And what's a good source to get that in-depth knowledge?
There are a number of levels of detail that we can talk about the design of large language models and the products that surround them. I think that it is valuable to have some understanding of the general picture of how those things work. I think a deep knowledge of the underlying architectures of large language models themselves is unrealistic to expect, like, large populations of people who aren't actively developing these things to be responsible for. And I also think that it's not necessary in order to be able to use tools like this judiciously. However, I do think that there is value in understanding enough about how they work to be able to predict their strengths and vulnerabilities on their responses with some accuracy, and also to be able to use them effectively as consumers in a technical work environment. So I think that there are a couple of resources that I think are useful for that. Chip Hoyne has a great book, AI Engineering, out through O'Reilly, that I think is good for this. A couple people recommended to me at O'Reilly itself, but not before I had found a copy of it in the back of my friend's car and read about 3/4 of it. It's a great book. I recommend it. And then the on-demand course called Leveraging Large Language Models for Software Engineering. The entire initial part of this course is dedicated, to the best of my ability, to illustrating and describing these concepts specifically to a software engineering audience at the level of detail that I think is deep enough to give you the understanding you need, and high level enough to not require somebody to, like, go back and take a mathematics course in order to be able to understand it.